You ever have, you ever celebrate 4th of July? Right? Anyone out there celebrate? I know we have a lot of patriots that watch this show. People in my chat, it just was 4th of July, Independence Day. Everyone's freaking out. They got their little fried barbecue bullshit. You don't even need a grill anymore. We got wildfire smoke to just do it for you, right? So, and everyone here loves blowing their arms off, blowing their legs off with the fireworks that they don't know how to use. And, even though there's countless amounts of YouTube tutorials you could look up, they still decide to blow their fucking faces off anyway to become a ghoul from Fallout. But hey, we love 4th of July around these parts. Anyway, one of my favorite parts about 4th of July, or just any holiday, is that there's always an uptick in stories like this. Florida couple charged in death of baby left in a hot car overnight after 4th of July party. Now, I have a question. Who the fuck does a 4th of July party and brings a baby? Like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm curious, okay? And second of all, what the fuck? All right, let's go. A Florida couple has been charged with aggravated manslaughter in the death of an 18-month-old girl who died after being left in a hot car overnight following a 4th of July party. Joel and Jasmine Rondon, both 33 and residents of Lakeland, went to a 4th of July celebration with their 3 young children and didn't return home until roughly 3 a.m. early next morning. The family left the party around 2 a.m. on Wednesday, Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd said in a news conference on Thursday. According to Judd, what kind of motherfucking name is Judd, by the way? Like, Jesus motherfucking Christ. Like, I mean, if I were named Judd, I'd be like, oh, how do I get out of here, right? Like, but anyway, Jasmine took the older children, ages 8 and 6, into the home, telling Joel to bring the baby into the home. Joel said the car doors were open as he brought food trays into the home. Then he noticed the back door of the car was shut when he was done. He said he thought Jasmine brought the child inside. Goddamn. He went inside and laid down in bed with his wife. Neither husband nor wife asked each other if they had brought the victim inside. They went to sleep, according to the sheriff's office news release, at around 11 a.m. on Wednesday. As he was getting ready for work, Joel asked one of the children to go check on the baby in the bedroom, but the child told Joel the baby was not there, according to the release. I'm sorry, I'm just laughing at this one, man. Because on my show, I have decided, as of a couple of weeks ago, that I'm just going to go full on the tough on parents. Some people may view this as an overcorrection. I disagree. I personally think it's an undercorrection, right? But this is a tough on parent show. Like, I'm sorry, man. I don't think that parents in this country know what the fuck they're doing. Like, this is like, I mean, how many goddamn times am I gonna sit here and do a story? I mean, I've done like, this is like a beat of mine now, dead baby in hot car. I've done like 20 of these stories in the last year, right? And it's like the parents, like, are they just like so fucking stupid that they don't even understand where their child is? Like, I mean, motherfuck, right? I mean, like, yeah. And it's like, we can only assume that these motherfuckers were on drugs or some shit. Like, who the fuck forgets their baby, right? Were they driving home at 3 a.m. from a 4th of July party on drugs, like coked out of their mind, like fucking drunk, like, what world, in what universe, right? How? I'm just asking. Like, as someone who is childless, I don't know, right? But I'm just asking, okay? How do you fucking forget your kid in the car? Like, I'm just trying to figure that, where is this? In Texas or some shit? No, Florida. How do you do that? Like, okay, there's a heat wave, right? I mean, like, I'm trying to, you have a child, like, I don't know, you brought a motherfucker into this world, and then you just forget about them in the car? You know what, like, I'm just trying to figure this out. I'm just like, and I want to say this, okay? If I were 18 months old today and I still had the same parents, yo, I guarantee you I'd have been dead in a hot car. I'm not even joking with y'all motherfuckers. Like, if I did not grow up in New Jersey and I grew up in like fucking Texas, I would have died in a hot car. I tell you, every time I do these stories, I tell you, my mom would leave me in a hot car when I was like fucking 4 years old. She probably did, you know, sometimes she'd leave the air conditioning on. Sometimes I'd just be like, oh God, man. You know, back in the day though, you had like the crank windows. Does anyone remember that shit? Where are the boomers at? Anyone? You just like, you know, you didn't have to like turn the car on. Nowadays, like cars are death traps, right? Right? If the car is not on, the windows can't be moved. Back in the day though, I could just do this. You know what I mean? Like, you know, get some exercise, man. That shit, like when I was like 4 years old, 5 years old, man, I would have to get both hands. I'd be like, cause you know, we had an old car. So I'd be like, oh my God. Right? Like it would be like crazy. Nowadays, you're in the hot car, you're just fucked, right? Like, you're just fucked. And yet parents haven't adapted to this new reality, right? That's the thing. Like, parents just haven't adapted yet. I don't know. Like, I mean, I know humans are very adaptable creatures, but I mean, like, what the fuck? Like, how the fuck do you leave your kid in a hot car, man? Fuck. You gotta be dumb. I mean, you gotta be dumb. And, like, I feel bad for the other two kids. Because, you know, I don't give a shit about these parents. I hope they rot in jail and cry themselves on their deathbed. But, like, these two other innocent kids that now have to deal with their little fucking sibling getting killed by their parents because they're dumb. And then now they're going to have 4th of July trauma for the rest of their lives. I mean, just like, you know, and this is something I do in my show is I like to focus on the people surrounding the story. I don't give a shit about the parents. Fuck them. I hope they die in jail. But, you know, my point is that imagine you're 8 years old and your parents just murder your little sister, and now every time you hear fireworks, you're gonna be reminded that your parents murdered your little sister for no fucking reason. Like, I mean, just like, you know, like I'm just trying to figure this one out, right? Like I'm just trying to like grasp this. Like, do these parents have any fucking idea what they're doing? You know, like these motherfuckers are 8 years old, 5 years old, 5 and 8, their lives are already ruined. Really? I mean, like Jesus fucking Christ. Like, they were just born. They were fucking born. Like, I mean, 5 years ago, this bitch wasn't even alive, and now their life is ruined? Like, is this a joke, man? Like, what the fuck is wrong with parents in this country? Fuck. Anyway, let's keep going, because there's more. At that point, blah, 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 the couple rushed the baby to the lakeland. Okay, at that point, Joelle began looking for the child and then went outside and looked in the car, which was parked in the driveway in the full sun. Yo, fuck. Fuck me. The release said before he found the child still strapped in her car seat and unresponsive. Oh boy. The couple rushed the baby to the Lakeland Regional Health Medical Center where she was pronounced dead. The heat index that day was 105 degrees. By the way, it was the hottest day on Earth. So I'm just throwing that one out there, okay? It was the hottest day on Earth. You know, until the next day, because it was the hottest day on Earth on Wednesday too. But when this baby died, I just want everyone to understand this. When this baby was fucking fried, cooked, medium or well done, it was the hottest day on Earth. I'm just, you know, context, right? You know, I'm just throwing that one out there, you know, for everyone else's enjoyment. The heat index that day was 105. Judd said on Thursday the child's internal body temperature was over 104. Jesus, motherfuck. I can't do it. I can't do it. At about 7 p.m. after the baby was pronounced dead, Joel and Jasmine underwent drug screening by the Department of Children and Families. According to the authorities, Joel tested positive for marijuana. I told you, motherfucker. I told you. Yeah, okay. I literally, I mean, rewind the tape. I told you, motherfuckers. Like, these guys, they brought their children to, like, a meth party on 4th of July, and then they killed their kid that morning. Like, I'm just telling, now again, I have no problem. If you want to use drugs, I use drugs. I don't use meth personally, but I use marijuana and alcohol. But you know what I don't do? I don't use them around kids. I also don't have kids. So if I were to ever be in a situation where a kid is present and I'm high out of my gourd, guess what? Not my responsibility. Not my responsibility. Why? Because it's not my fucking kid, right? So again, I have no problem with drug use. I love drug use. All, shout outs to the drugs out there that, that keep people like us alive, right? But if you're having kids, maybe you shouldn't be doing meth. Maybe you shouldn't be doing alcohol. Weed, every once in a while, maybe, right? I'm just saying. I'm just throwing this out there, right? An idea. Food for thought, right? Just think about it, okay? An autopsy determined the child's manner of death as homicide and her cause of death was hyperthermia due to being left in a car. Well, you don't say. Both Jasmine and Joel have been charged with aggravated manslaughter of a child. They were taken into custody. The couple's other children have been placed with relatives, the sheriff said. This rips your heart out. There's no other way to explain it, said Jib. This is not an accident. This is pure negligence, and I suggest to you the core of the negligence is the abuse of drugs and the use of drugs. Now, I disagree with this. Now, is it possible that drug use was the straw that broke the camel's back? Right? Maybe. But I'm telling you right now, these motherfuckers had an 8-year-old, okay? I'm telling you right now. Having an 8-year-old, deciding to have a 5-year-old, and then deciding to have a third kid while you're constantly using drugs. I'm just saying, I don't know. Maybe the parents are just fucking stupid. I don't know. Maybe, just maybe everything in the world isn't just drugs. Maybe, I don't know, think about it. Maybe parents in this, because there's plenty of these stories where, they'll talk about it. Oh, the parents were tested for drugs and they came negative for everything, right? Parents in this country are just trash. They're just garbage. We live in a shithole country with shithole parents. Now, I say this, and if this triggers you, cry about it. I don't give a fuck. My opinion is that 90% of parents are abusive in this country. That's my opinion, okay? That's my opinion. 90% of parents in the United States of America are child abuse perpetrators. Now, what do I mean by that, right? Let me expand. Well, think about this. How many people do you know in your life that have kids because they're narcissists? You ask them, oh, well, why do you want to have a kid? Well, I just want one. You ever hear this? First of all, it's taboo in our world to even ask someone, why do you want a kid? Someone says, oh, I'm pregnant, and then you respond with, oh, great, but why? And then they go right? They just freak out because they've never thought of that, right? Because they're just following the script. What is the script that they indoctrinate you with in school, right? What are you going to be when you grow up? Also, you're going to go out on dates. You're going to kiss girls and boys, right? You're going to fucking get married. You're going to fuck, and then you're going to have kids, right? That's the script, right? So people don't think about it. People just, they fuck, they have kids, and then they go, well, I guess we're going. They never think about it, right? So you ever ask someone, hey, why are you having that kid, right? And then they go, well, I don't know, I just want kids. Oh, really? You can't have there's no other reason? You just want them? You just want the kid. Now, I'm just telling you this, okay? As a victim of an abusive childhood, I had a really fucked up childhood, okay? I don't want to be oppression Olympics out there. There's people that had more fucked up childhoods. There's people that have less, everyone's fucked up childhood matters in some way, right? It affects us all, everyone, regardless of if you had a great childhood, even. Your childhood affects who you are, right? They say that most of your personality is developed by the time you're 5, right? So just think about that, right? But think about this. When most parents only have kids because they were indoctrinated when they were kids into growing up to have kids, I don't know, man. If I'm gonna have a kid, what am I gonna have a kid for? I want to bring someone new into the world. I want to love them. I want to cherish them. I want to have another human around me that I can love and cherish, and that I can, teach them about the world. If I had a kid, you know what I wouldn't do? I wouldn't be doing meth at a July 4th party. I'm just saying. I'm just telling you. I'm just being honest with you, okay? And this is also why if I wanted to do meth at a July 4th party, I wouldn't have a motherfucking kid, right? And again, I'm just telling you right now. And I have another child segment coming up in a moment here, so maybe I'm going to save that nugget for the next one. So anyway, dead kid in a hot car, July 4th party, but there's more. Fucked up parents. In fact, you know what? Let's just merge the segments. Fuck them. This is just going to be one big segment. We're going to talk about dead kids. Mother grieves after young son shot and killed his 4-year-old sister inside Cumberland apartment. So shout outs to Cumberland. What kind of fucking name? Like, imagine someone's like, hey, where do you live? Where are you from? Oh, I'm from Cumberland. Like, what the fuck? Like, imagine having to say that shit, like, to another person. Like, my God. Anyway, Cumberland police said a 5-year-old boy shot and killed his 4-year-old sister, Dior Nita, inside their Cumberland apartment Wednesday afternoon. So, now, I'm just going to be honest with you. How the fuck is this possible? Okay? How the motherfucking... Like, I'm just asking. I'm curious. I just want to know. In what universe is a 4-year-old getting access to a gun and then killing his sister? Like, I'm asking you this. Like, the headline says, Mother grieves, right? Mother grieves. Okay? But maybe we should ask this mother, what the fuck's going on? Right? Like, okay, the mother is grieving. Okay, I get it. But why is she grieving? Oh, well, because her kid's dead. Why is her kid dead? Oh, well, the other kid shot and killed them. So, why did that happen? I'm just curious. Maybe we'll find out. Maybe we'll find out more. It's possible that we'll find out that the gun was secured, right? Like in that fucking, shooting in Newport News, right? Where they said, don't worry, guys. The kid brought the gun to school, but it's okay because the gun was secured. But the kid brought the gun to school, but it's okay because the gun was secured. Right? So anyway, we'll see. Their mother, Melody, is grieving the loss of one child and the trauma of another one who pulled the trigger. Melody spoke to 13 News Thursday in a brief interview before the mother of 5 was overcome with grief. Now, I just want to say this. I don't give a fuck about the mother. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't give a fuck about the mother. The mother can cry herself into a heart attack and die for all I fucking care. Fuck that bitch. And same goes for the father. Fuck that bitch. Fuck him. Fuck him. Fuck him. In what world? In what fucking world are you the victim when you raised kids to kill each other? I'm just saying. And how the fuck did they get the gun? We haven't found out yet. But this is what mainstream media loves to do. Oh, the parents are so sad. Oh my God, how could this have happened? Why? I don't know, maybe child abuse was going on. But our society doesn't like talking about child abuse, right? Our society likes to normalize child abuse. Like, I'm just asking, in what universe does a kid feel the need to get a gun and shoot their sister unless there's some fucked up shit going on in the home? I'm just saying, I'm just putting it out there because no one else will. Melody shared a family photo just days before on July 4. Why is Melody sharing anything? This bitch should be in fucking jail right now. This bitch should be in motherfucking jail right now. Why is she sharing fucking photos with the goddamn news? What the fuck? Dior was a happy child until I facilitated her murder. Oh, sorry, that's my paraphrasing. Said Melody, her voice cracking with emotion. She was nice, sweet, and she was sweet, nice, and loving, and now she's dead because I'm a shitty mother. Melody said she spoke to Dior the last time when she came home to their Cumberland apartment during a break from work Wednesday afternoon. Oh, so they left the kids home alone? Is that what happened? So they left the kids home alone with a gun in the house. Is that what happened? Like, is this what I'm... And this bitch ain't in jail yet? Like, okay, so have you heard of a babysitter? Oh, you can't afford a babysitter. Have you heard of not having a child? Is that possible? My baby came downstairs and told me bye and that she loved me, Melody said. I went back to work and a couple hours later I got a call from my grandma saying my baby is dead. So did you leave them with the grandma? Follow-up question. Where the fuck is the grandma in all of this? Was the grandma taking a nap while the fucking kids were shooting each other? Like, I'm just curious, right? I just want to know. I'm trying to, like, get to the bottom of this, right? Dior's great-grandmother... Oh, gee, okay, I get it, okay. So this isn't the kid's grandma. This is, okay, I understand. So Dior's great-grandmother was watching 5 children, ages 6 years old and under, at the apartment. So there's motherfucker... What is this, a daycare? Is this fucking shit a daycare facility? Like, I'm just curious. I want to know, right? Like, and why, if it is, right, a daycare facility, why the fuck are there guns in the house? Right? I don't know. I'm just like, why? Like, if you got 5, 6-year-olds and under, maybe you shouldn't have the guns in the house. Like, I'm just like, Like, someone in the chat says, if the child is already here but they can't afford a babysitter, what should happen? They should sell the gun to a pawn shop, right? And then get a babysitter. So that's my answer to that question. Let's keep going. Investigators believe Dior's brother found a fully loaded 9mm handgun in a dresser drawer in an upstairs bedroom and accidentally shot his sister. Yo, first of all, fully loaded 9mm, right, at daycare. Yo. Now, I want this great-grandma to be thinking, because, like, cause and effect here, motherfucker. Like, let's look at this great-grandma, right? Let's look at this great-grandma. I'm sorry, man. I know you don't want to hear this. What's going on with that great-grandma? What kind of kids did she raise? And what kind of kids did those kids raise? Right? To have several generations down the line. Oh, look, it's a gun. Boom. Right? Like, I'm just like, and what kind of dumb bitch has a daycare facility in their apartment with a fucking fully loaded gun in the bedroom? Like, I'm sorry, dude. Everyone involved needs to go to jail. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. Fuck these parents. Fuck these grandmas. Why is this Melody bitch crying on the news? She should be in a jail cell. What the fuck? The children were downstairs with great-grandma. Cumberland Police Chief Suzanne Crook Woodland said, "What kind of fucked up name is Crook Woodland? Like, Jesus fucking Christ." Like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't want to be here, like, you know, I got a fucked up name like Rovenski. What the fuck does that mean? But I mean, like, Crook Woodland? Like, what? Alright, anyway. Grandma was changing the infant. The kids ran upstairs. Grandma was putting the baby's clothes back on him, and she heard the gunshot. And the three came downstairs in horror, crying, and said one of them had shot the other. Yo, I mean, again, what the fuck? And I'm sorry, if this is insensitive, if me laughing at dead kids is insensitive, you may be new here. The children were taken into protective custody. Now, here's another part of this, is protective custody also shit. Protective custody is also garbage in this country. We underfund child protective services, right? There's also all kinds of rampant abuse and torture and manipulation in child protective services, right? So that's a whole thing. And then also, let's just finish this article real quick here. The children, blah, blah, blah. Melody said she did not know that there was a gun in the apartment. Oh my fucking God, it was in the dresser drawer. How do you not know there was a gun in the dresser drawer? I'm just curious. Like, are you just saying that because you don't want to be in a jail cell? Like, I'm just like, I'm just trying to figure this out. I'm trying to get to the bottom of this one. Investigators are waiting on test results to see who handled the gun to help determine who is the owner. Cumberland Police, emphasis on cum, reminded everyone to store their guns safely and securely where children can't get them. Free gun locks. This is like when someone kills themselves, like, and then they put like if you are feeling suicidal, there is like a 1-100 or whatever, right? Free gun locks are available to Cumberland. I don't think a gun lock would have really done much help here when it comes to the intelligence of these fucking family members, man. I would like to think at this point people would be so tired of seeing these tragedies on the news that they would step up and do something more to secure their firearms. Hey, I don't know, man. Oh, now I just want to say one more thing real quick on the subject of parents. And this may sound shocker to you. Now, again, earlier I said 90% of parents are abusers. Now, does that mean that necessarily the parents are evil, right, beyond reproach, never to be possibly reasoned with? I don't believe that. I don't believe that. But the problem is parents in this society are coddled. They're coddled. Everyone treats parents with kid gloves. Oh, it's so hard being a parent. Oh my God, it's so stressful. And this is all true, right? But what this kind of culture does is it normalizes abusive parenting tactics, right? You ever hear someone, oh, your kid's crying, right? So just let them cry until they stop crying. You ever hear this? This is a famous Jordan Peterson line. Y'all know Jordan Peterson. This guy says, if your kid is crying, let them cry themselves to sleep. What? right? But that's normal. You ever get told this shit to the parents out there? You ever do this shit? Think about it. I'm just curious, right? I'm not, I'm not trying to cancel you or whatever. I'm just like, right. Like, think about how fucked up that is. Your child is crying, but you're a selfish little fucking narcissist and you want to get fucking nap time in. So you're just going to let your child cry themselves to sleep? What? Right? And then we normalize child abuse in the form of negligence. That's what that is, right? Also, I personally believe, and this is maybe a little bit out there of, you may consider this a little woo, right? This bitch is crazy. I believe a 2-parent household is fundamentally abusive. That's right. I didn't say, now, just to be clear, I was raised by a single mother, right? So I understand the dangers of a 1-parent household, but I'm going to sit up here and tell you a 2-parent household is also abusive. Because why? Because it is fundamentally an unjust hierarchy. Parents should not have the power that they have over their kids. Why? Well, think about it in simple terms of, oh, what if you leave your kids alone home with a gun? Or, oh, what if I left my kid in a hot car and no one's, has a check on my ass, right? But then also think about it in this way, right? Parents have the sole power to shape the worldview of children. Why are there people alive right now who support slavery, right? Think about it. Why are there people alive right now who, talk about all their lives, how much they hate black people and how much all the criminals and the rapists coming through the border? How is this possible? Right? It's because generations and generations of shitty fucking parents are able to manipulate their stupid fucking kids into fucking, repeating the abuse of trauma and racism and evil, right? And no one has a check on them. Not even schools have a check on them, really. I mean, this is a current thing people love to complain about. Parents' rights. Fuck parents' rights. Fuck you. If you're a parent, you should have no rights, motherfucker. But anyway, we got a bunch of stupid-ass parents, and I don't know why this Melody bitch ain't in jail. I don't know why this great-grandma ain't in jail. I'm just curious, right? Like, are they in jail? Maybe they are. We just don't know yet. But I'm just like, what the fuck, man? Like, I don't know. If you can't think of more than one reason to have a kid other than, well, I kind of just want one. I don't know, man. You're a piece of shit.